Good afternoon, Mr. Thomas. So today's question is, how do you ensure that the software meets the client's needs?
Yeah. Thank you, Lavanya, for that. Thank you for asking that question. Uh, so let me just tell a little bit about the question. So what happens is many of us may think that a software is of course developed for the client and it has to meet the client's need. But usually that does not happen. In many a times in software industry, one of the downside is that by the time the software is completed, the client is extremely upset that the software does not meet their requirement or it is not what they had hoped for or intended for. Okay, and many projects, even high value projects are abandoned after they start. So it's extremely crucial that whatever is being developed, whatever software is being developed, ultimately the client is able to use it and benefit from it. So I would say that the way we do it is there are three areas in software development interaction with the client that we'll have to be extremely careful to ensure that it is meeting clients' needs. The first one is requirement gathering. So whenever there is a need with the customer, if we are able to understand the need of the customer correctly at that stage, that is the requirement gathering stage, where we are able to understand the business, we are able to understand the stakeholders, the users, and completely capture that information in a correct manner and identify the true problem. Many times what happens is the client might think that I am not able to deliver fast to my client because of some issue, maybe because I'm not having manpower or I'm not having raw materials correctly. But the actual problem might not be those. The actual problem might be entirely different. So in that requirement gathering phase, if we are able to truly identify what is the actual problem and spend time with the client and try to understand their real challenges, problems, the entire process of the organization, that itself, I would say, solves 80% of the mission or the way in which we can deliver exactly what the client needs. I think 80% of that challenge is solved if the requirement gathering happens properly. And then, of course, when we hand over the project to the development team, the solutions team that we call, their interaction with the client again, continuously talking to the client and continuously trying to understand whether whatever is being developed is aligning with what the client is expecting, whether it is solving the problem that the client has. And that entire development process itself happens with that continuous interaction and gathering feedback and the development. So two phases, there is requirement gathering, development process, and the story does not end here. There is another phase called maintenance or a support phase, where again there is a need for continuously listening to the client, interacting with the client and ensuring that whatever has been developed, though it is with the feedback of the customer, even then whatever has been developed, is the client finding it useful, is the client able to use it, are all the users finding it simple enough to use, or is it intuitive, or is it too difficult? At that maintenance phase, if we can keep asking those questions and keep adapting the software, keep modifying the software to meet their unique requirements, we can 100% be sure that the software will meet clients' needs. So three places: requirement gathering, development process, and the maintenance. If all the three areas, if we are able to take care, we can ensure that the client will be extremely happy with whatever we create and they will grow in their business. Yeah. Thank you, Lavanya.
Thank you.
Thank you.